follow me on Twitter at RedFoxComs, my brand new Twitter account. Well, in an absolute worst turn of events for Athoughts, he has lost his YouTube channel. This happened last night at around, I saw this, it hit at like 1, 2 in the morning last night. I only found out, of course, this morning, but his YouTube channel with 300,000 subs has been deleted. It's been permanently banned off YouTube they just say violating community guidelines. Usually they say like what the guidelines were, but I think with this case, it was just all the bad press he was getting from the Drifter situation, which has cost him his entire YouTube channel. Stud Muffin Athlete, which he had already moved to. He had already abandoned the Athoughts channel and moved to his Stud Muffin Athlete channel, but when you pull that one up, it just gives you an error code. Oops, let's see. Yeah, there you go. There's your error code right there. It says the page ain't available, and he, of course, said on Twitter today, "Seems like I've been kicked off YouTube. My channels have been deleted. If I don't get them back, it was a good run. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't a massive kick to the balls. Obviously, some will rejoice, and that's fine. I know the truth. I know who I am. Thanks." And he seems to be getting mostly support on social media. Actually, throughout this entire controversy, even though it seems pretty like... and we'll get into that in a second, but it doesn't look great for him. I have noticed one thing is that he has like a massive amount of support. A lot of people just don't like Drifter, and I've seen a lot of people just basically give the opinion that even if what Drifter's saying is true, that Athoughts was way more involved than he is claiming to be. A lot of people are just like, you know what? Fuck Drifter, dude. I don't care about Drifter. I like Athoughts, which is a surprising amount of people. I mean, obviously, there's always going to be people who, in any YouTube drama, no matter what somebody does, even if a YouTuber is like a pedophile, even if they're a pedophile, usually they'll still have at least a little bit of people that are like, I don't care, even if he's a pedophile, I still want to watch his content. Usually that's coming from like little kids and stuff that have been, manipulated into thinking that pedophilia is okay and, all that sick shit. But the point is that no matter how bad somebody is, they'll always have people that are just diehards. It's crazy. And people don't realize that on the internet. People don't realize that the only person you can really cancel is yourself. You might get a lot of bad press in a lot of situations, but it's really up to you if you want to, stop being a YouTuber or an influencer, or if you don't want to get canceled or not. And Athoughts is really sticking to his guns. He's really sticking to his story here. He writes here on Twitter, "I didn't care what people thought. People can talk shit all day on the internet and say whatever, that's fine. I'm only responding now because my channel was deleted and I plan on getting it back through legal means if I have to." Somebody down here writes, "Glad you're not giving up on it. Was hoping to hear your side of things in a vid." He says, "I'm banned from YouTube. That's not happening. We're past that game." Now, it's interesting to note that beforehand, people were saying, hey, you should probably make a video and talk about this. And his response was that he was worried Drifter would just flag it. Actually, he wasn't even worried. He was just saying flat out, if I make a video and respond to this, I'll just get flagged. Which I thought was a pretty weak excuse, I'll be honest with you, alright? Because let's say he's being completely slandered, Drifter is just completely lying out of his ass. You would risk everything to come out with a statement that proves your innocence. You wouldn't give a fuck. And even if you got flagged, it's like a YouTuber who got slandered by another much larger YouTuber, then getting flagged after they give their defense, that makes the story 10 times bigger. That puts 10 times the amount of more eyes on your defense than it would have before. Like, getting flagged when you're trying to come out with your innocence and prove your lack of involvement in the situation, that would only be a good thing for Athoughts in the long run. So I don't know why the fuck you'd be scared about that, but that's his stated reason, which I gotta be honest, I found very fishy. Throughout this entire thing, I'll be honest with you, I found this story very fishy. When Athoughts first got exposed by Drifter, just like earlier this week, I noticed he wasn't talking at all. Like, for 20 hours straight, he just was not tweeting about it, even though he's pretty lively on the app beforehand. And then I make a joke about it in the replies to one of Connor's tweets, and he jumps in there memeing, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Shouldn't you respond to this? So none of this story really makes any sense to me from Athoughts' perspective, and his whole story that he has no involvement in the situation is looking a little bit sus. We have Drifter pulling up clips where he's telling Blue what to do. He's telling Blue to spoof the Plano Police Department phone line. Like, what the yeah, you do have involvement. Maybe you don't have involvement with everything that Blue did, but you still have some involvement, and you should be honest about that. I said this in yesterday's video, but Athoughts needs to come out with the video and just be like, look, here's what I absolutely did do, and here's what I didn't do. All he's doing is just saying, it wasn't me, I didn't do it, I told Blue to stop. He's released multiple DMs proving that he's told Blue to stop at one point, but we don't know if those DMs are staged. We don't know if he was like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to tell you to stop, and then I'll post this on Twitter to cover my ass. Or, we don't even know if, maybe he did genuinely tell Blue to stop after Blue already did a bunch of shit that Athos directed him to do. We don't know these things. That's why Athos needs to come out with all the receipts. He needs to come out and say, look, I did this, and that was wrong of me, but I didn't do this. And he just needs to lay it out on the table and just be like, this is the whole story from start to finish. And then we wouldn't have to ask these questions or even entertain these hypotheticals. We would just know the situation. But I guess that's asking too much, which is weird. He then says, I've got video footage for days to refute any allegations. This is just one. It's an hour and 50 minutes long, going through pages and pages and pages of evidence from Discord, Twitter, etc. I covered my ass. I'm not dumb. All right, that's a start here. And he shows a video file. Yeah, that's an hour long. Okay, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to be very curious to watch this. Again, this is not just like, let's all shit on Athos, all right? Never, when I cover a story, am I just like, okay, here's the story. Athos and Drifter are fighting. Fuck Drifter. How do we make him look as bad as possible? Or fuck Athos. How do we make him look as bad as possible? I just want to know what's going on. And that's the other thing, right? Because he was supposed to come on my show on Monday. He said, I'll probably hop on. And then later, an hour before I did my show, he was like, I'm not hopping on. And obviously, there is a monetary incentive to have Athos on. But at the same time, I was actually genuinely curious, like, what's going on here? What's the deal? What's happening? He then shares a video clip. Blue went on Brandon Talks podcast for an hour long, and Athos shared a clip right here.
They're swatting me and all that, and we know we didn't do any of that shit.
Did you guys send hookers to his house?
Plead the fifth.
Okay. Did Athos...
So he did send hookers to his house.
Play a part in the hookers?
Did Athos play a part?
I mean...
It's pretty easy to be like yes or no, unless you don't want to answer.
He didn't play a part in it.
Okay, because that's important, right?
He found him funny. He found him funny.
Right.
But he didn't suggest him.
Okay.
So Athos is like, exactly, I'm an asshole for finding things funny, but I didn't have a part in this shit. That's from Blue himself. Thank you for being honest. And look, dog, I'm not gonna lie, that was not the best defense Blue could have given for your case. The guy asked, did Athos have involvement? And Blue's like, or he just goes silent for a second. He's like, it's a very easy question to ask. Then Blue's like, no, he didn't. Like, if that's your best defense, like, I would not want that to be my only defense if I were in this situation. That is just not, this does not absolve you from all your sins here. Like, this is so sketchy. Drifter still has his video series he announced on Athos, but it appears that that's probably been put on hold based on this tweet here. He says, somebody asked, like, are you going to address the new information put out about the Athos situation? And then Drifter said, I've said enough now. My hormones are completely forked, and I was on death's door a few weeks ago. Instead of stressing about this, I'm just going to go back to normal gaming content and positive videos. I got a new lease on life and don't want to waste it on these clowns. So we're kind of in a situation where one guy is ready to dump it all and expose the other, and now he's kind of tapping out. And then we got another guy who was tapped out before, but now suddenly he's really interested in proving his innocence. This is so back and forth. Look, Athos has been nothing but nice to me. I'm pretty sure he shouted me out multiple times, but that's not going to cloud my judgment of the situation, all right? I think what probably happened was Blue probably used to fuck with Athos for whatever reason, and Athos was probably offered a sweet little job working for Blue, if you know what I mean, doing some of his dirty work. This is all my speculation. I don't know this. This is just my speculation. I mean, Blue has a harem of YouTubers that, work for him just because they're afraid of this guy terrorizing their lives. Their stated reasons for working with Blue are literally, I don't want him going after my family. For all I know, Athos could be one of those YouTubers. I mean, they've already talked about how they pressure other YouTubers to become friends with them and do their, work or, get a job with them, whatever that means. Well, actually, I think we kind of know what that means. So that situation, for all I know, could just be Athos is a victim here. Not that he's excusable for any actions he may have done if he's guilty of doing those actions, but this is probably just a situation, going off my own speculation, of Athos being, I guess, coerced to work with Blue out of fear of his own safety. That's just one of my thoughts, though. I'll spare you guys 7 other. Get it? Anyway, guys, my name's AugurFC. I'm gonna head out of here. I'll see you guys next time. Follow me on Twitter, bitches. Follow me. Follow me. Because they banned me, so, fill up my account a little bit. Come on.